Hi there, my name is Henry Shankman. I am a nature nut. I'm a video producer. I'm a field guide. I'm a canyoneer. And what I've done is learned about natural history since I enrolled at the Natural History Museum in the canyoneer class under Bill Howell in 1990. I have just celebrated my 20th year of being out and being an interpreter of nature. In addition to being a field guide in the field, I've worked on nature interpretation by making videos and writing a book. You're in my studio and I'm in my uniform. I have 500 videos that are available for people to work on and see and learn from. I have a book on ecology which tells you how I see the habitat of species in a niche. I have a lot of people who've helped me. Bill Howell, who was my instructor at the Natural History Museum, has wound up being a prime contributor. I also have a friend who is a trail guide at the Mission Trails Regional Park, who is an expert on doing the web work and organization. And my wife puts up with an awful lot and helps by editing and doing all those wonderful things that need to be done that wives do and people who gives you unbridled support give you. Now, the product that we put out is called Goldilocks Ecology Method of Science Education. And what I will do in the rest of this video is show you how that's set up. This is a short introduction to the concept of Goldilocks ecology. It's a practical method to understand a habitat, a species, and a niche. Wherever you are, there are 9 factors that are acting together to make the habitat and the niche you occupy at that moment. 7 factors are not alive: sun, air, earth, water, gravity, time, and fire. 2 are alive. These are the biological factors. One group of the biological factors contains organisms that are large enough to see. The other group, you need a microscope to see the organisms. All 9 factors interact in time and space. When any factor changes, the species must adapt, move, or die. A species is defined as a group of organisms that are similar and are capable of interbreeding and producing fertile offspring in nature. This is the idea of Goldilocks ecology. For a species to thrive, all 9 factors must be just right. So now let's go and see how you actually acquire Goldilocks Ecology book and where it is. It's on the web and it's under GoldilocksEcology.com. There are 3 ways actually to access the book and download it. First, there is the full book with everything in it that can be downloaded. Secondly, we have an abbreviated version. Does not have the habitat assessments in it, so that it downloads much more quickly. And then we have given you the capacity to download each of the habitats that we evaluate. So now that we're through with Goldilocks Ecology, let's move on to Naturebytesvideo.com, the flagship of Nature's Way Productions. As you notice, under the banner, there are 5 separate buttons to take you to the various habitat zones that we have in the county. The habitat zones are the coast, inland, mountain, desert, and urban. Let's go to the mountain website so that you can see how it's organized. This is one of the ways where you can get access to individual videos. Under the banner, it says Mountain Habitats of Southern California. You'll also notice that there is a box to type in or mark in a name of a video or a topic and press go. This will result in the computer selecting that video from the record. If you go further down to the next level, you'll see that we have the titles of mountain plants, mountain birds, mountain animals. Scroll down through that web page, select the title, click on it, and it will take you to the video you want to see. In addition to what we have here, there's a Habitats and Ecology web page that will allow you to go to the book and also to go to special videos that we've organized under ecology. We also have an other stuff section, when here we have primarily plants, geology, and potpourri. These are videos we couldn't figure out where to put any other way. We have quite a geology section in here. The next one is places and sites. They contain the videos that are related to trips or places to go. One is those that are in Southern California, and others are those places in the world that I have visited that I think are noteworthy. You can also go to the alphabetical index, and we have 5 separate web pages, and you can choose your subtopic and go down and pick up the videos. They are organized in alphabetical order. Now, let's go and view 12 selected videos to give you a taste of what is on the website.
This is Isomeris. Our little harlequin bugs are common on this plant.
Treat is seeing a turkey vulture ride the air so effortlessly. Here we are standing on top of Cuyamaca Peak. What we are looking at is the Cuyamaca Basin, which is one of the smaller watersheds that make up the huge San Diego River watershed.
Here's an example of cryptic coloration, a camouflage blending in with the rocks. This little critter is really hard to see, probably its best defense mechanism.
Rosie, the California trapdoor spider, was happily digging her new home after a week of storm in San Diego. I invited her to a photo session. As you can see, she was not too happy with my interference. The raccoon, Procyon lotor, or the masked bandit. This very common mammal is known throughout the United States, northern Mexico, likes to raid trash cans.
There might be 30 orders in the insect class. I've selected 8 in 3 groups.
The acorn woodpecker, Melanerpes formicovorus, in San Diego regions lives in oak grove habitats that extend from the coast to the mountains.
This little rabbit is Audubon's cottontail, common rabbit.
The geologic history of San Diego County is based upon the pamphlet by that name done by Brad Riney. 135 million years ago, the county was underwater and was to the west of what today is now Sonora, Mexico. On the planet, we were 130 miles southeast of present San Diego. The Farallon tectonic ocean plate was moving east and going under the North American plate. Now that we've shown you GoldilocksEcology.com and Naturebytesvideo.com and demonstrated to you how to get there and what the content is, now I'm going to segue into talking about why you should be interested in Goldilocks ecology system. First, let's talk about Goldilocks Ecology, the book and the concept. When I go out on the trail, the first thing I do when I get out is I run the sun, air, earth, water, time, gravity through my head so I get grounded in what the habitat is doing at this moment. I get settled in and recognize. Most of you do this automatically and you don't pay attention. But as a nature interpreter, talking about what is happening in the habitat, where the sun is, how much water there is, how hard the ground is, what kind of ground it is, how close you are to fire season, whether you're in a recovery from a fire or whether you're looking at the fuel load. All of these things are elements that you can use to add to your presentation. One of the things that I had heard a long time ago, that the true sign of a nature interpreter who is more than competent and probably one who is at the top of our skill is the person who can walk into the middle of the desert, pick up one twig off the desert floor, and give you an engaging and informative and entertaining 3-minute talk on that stick. You're going to go out into the habitat at different times of the year. You're not always going to have pretty flowers that you recognize. If you go out in the middle of the summer out here when so many of our plants are in the deciduous state, what are you going to talk about and how are you going to relate to these plants and know what they look like when they don't look like what's in the field guides? So once you're grounded, then you go out and you have the opportunity to express what you know. Naturebytes video is a field guide that will demonstrate to you not only what you have in the way of materials that are in the textbooks and in the field guides, but also how the information about that is presented, and these are presented to you in a scientifically accurate way. So how do you use them? Well, first you can use them as a training tool, and you're going through your training. Secondly, you can use them to refresh yourself. 3, you can use them also to learn about techniques of presentation and get the feel for what experienced field guides have been able to put out there for the public. So every one of our videos has 3 elements. 1, it is scientifically accurate. 2, it is presented by an experienced nature interpreter. And 3rd, it serves as a foundation for you to go out and do your own presentation. And finally, I have heard from present president of the Canyoneers that with all of his numbers of years of experience, at the start of each season, he'll go back through and check Goldilocks Ecology and naturebytesvideo.com so that he is in top shape for when he gets into the field. Now that's the end of our presentation, but I want to finish off by showing just how much fun you can have and how crazy natural history can be. Bill Howell, the star of many of my videos and a good friend and my instructor and mentor, is entertaining me and you with his interpretation of how to handle a cone-nosed kissing bug. By the way, my granddaughter finally said that she met somebody who was crazier than her grandfather.
That's a kissing bug giving me a little kiss. If it was nighttime and I was sleeping, he'd probably pierce my lip, suck some blood, and cause some grief. Right now, he's not quite sure what's going on. I guess he's on my cheek now. He's trying to escape, but if this was nighttime, he'd be looking for a blood meal. This little critter on my arm is a kissing bug. Inside of its body are some little protozoans, little potential parasites. It will locate a person, often on the lips, maybe at the corner of the eye, and pierce and suck blood. Another name of this kissing bug is blood-sucking cone nose. It will suck blood and make little wounds on the host and crawl around on the host in that area and defecate on those wounds.